2026 monthly board meeting of the Wayne County Board of Education. At this time, I will lead us in the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this time that we can come together and make decisions, dear God. I pray that we will listen to your guidance and that we will make the right decisions for the school system. I pray, Lord, that you would be with all who are presenting tonight and give them the words that we need to hear. I pray, Lord, that you would just bless those who are on vacation and keep them safe and return them home safely. And I pray, Lord, that you would bless the upcoming school year, Heavenly Father, and keep all of our schools safe. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, Ms. Daniel will read the mission, vision, and belief statement.
Our mission statement: empowering all to reach their highest potential through growth and service. Our vision statement: Wayne County School System will build a sense of community among all stakeholders as we work towards continuous improvement to meet the academic, social, emotional, and behavioral needs of all students. The Wayne County School System is dedicated to providing differentiated and rich educational pathways and establishing ethical learning environments that promote academic achievement, leadership development, and the growth of our students. Our belief statement: every person is worthy of respect. Every person has the right to learn and work in a safe, nurturing environment. Every child learns when actively involved in educational experiences that reflect the uniqueness of each student's abilities. Every child will be encouraged and supported to become lifelong learners and preparing for a rapidly changing world. Everyone learns best when they are engaged and participants in their learning. Literacy is the foundation of education. Families, schools, and communities are responsible for the growth, development, and success of their students.
Before a motion is made, we need to amend the agenda to remove number 3, pathways and electives, under discussion and information. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda with the changes as stated?
So move.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Ma'am,
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have a motion to approve the June 30th, 2026 monthly board meeting minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
There is no public participation, so we will move on to our items of business.
Our first item on the agenda is capital outlay projects. I have an update from the superintendent on site from today. ROTC facility, they have painted the interior. They will start the ceiling grid tomorrow. The epoxy floors will start tomorrow, and the floor covering will start Thursday. The doors and hardware will start sometime this weekend. Monday through Wednesday of next week, they will ensure that all the life safety is in place for the fire marshal who is coming on the 22nd. The multi-purpose athletic facility, they're finishing up the painting in the weight room and the office area. They'll start the ceiling grids in the office area tomorrow. Floor covering will start on Sunday. The doors and hardware will start on Sunday following the floors. And then they will begin after that, starting to ensure that the life safety is in place for the fire marshal for that facility. Site utilities are at both of those buildings, and they will begin some fine grading this weekend on the outside of those buildings. The ag facility, we're about 4 to 6 weeks away from starting the block. The red iron is being hung, and then the roof will be installed before they start the block work. So, any questions on those 3 facilities? Moving right along.
I noticed the fence and all was down, so around.
They're gonna
so
start, yeah, we're gonna start getting it ready for
cleaning up.
some landscaping around those 2.
So it's gonna be close for
Yes,
school.
sir, it is. I just want to give just a little bit more information regarding our next eSplosh. That will probably be a topic of conversation at our board meetings from this point forward. As we stated, that we hope to have a vote in March of '27 to continue our current eSplosh. It will not be an additional sales tax, but just a continuation of what we currently have. And the steps for that will be to, our architect will work on a RFP for a construction manager, and we will name a construction management firm. And they will participate with us in completing the design, and then we'll have the vote in March. And there's a lot of steps that we have to go through to get there. But hopefully around December, we will have a referendum resolution and a notice of election for the board to approve. And we will be walked through all the legal procedures with a representative from Raymond James and our local attorney, who will be Mr. Bob Smith, who will be handling that for us. So just giving you an update on that. Are there any questions about that? Okay.
And this eSplosh is focused on,
New,
I know we have to vote on it and come up with a, decision, but I do understand that it is supposed to be focused on, improvements in athletics. Am I correct?
yes, ma'am. And we're gonna continue to set aside some funds annually to purchase school buses and possibly textbooks and things like that to try to help keep our millage rate lower.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Next on the agenda is strategic plan, and we have Dr. Kimberly Harrison to go over her portion of the strategic plan.
Okay, so Ms. Williams pretty much just summarized this next step in her report out. I'm here to report out on 5.1, Finance and Operations, Strategic Initiative 1, responsibly manage resources so schools can function effectively. There's 4 action steps in this initiative. All of the action steps are ongoing. We have monthly discussions. We report out monthly about the progress on capital projects, and there's several different tools that we use to track that progress for our strategic plan. So the first action step is to continue to determine funding needs. And that is something that happens weekly when we have conversations, sometimes daily, down to the minute. We loop in our principals and directors in this process with the budget request document. That is something that they use in the beginning of their planning. And anytime that they want something or they would request something, sometimes, with our budget, with 88% of it going to personnel, sometimes it's difficult to provide everything with local funds. So we do try to earmark some of those requests with capital projects. Okay. Action step 2 is capital project updates at each board meeting. And Ms. Williams does a great job, and she stays in contact with those construction managers. I know she's probably in contact with them daily, but she provides information to you guys every board member meeting about the progress toward those. So again, that's an ongoing action step. And the third is just to monitor budgets for accuracy. We provide monthly we provide financial reports monthly, but we also monitor those budgets weekly. And so not just to make sure that we are staying on track, but just to make sure everything is coded correctly. So if journal entries are needed to move some things around, we do that to make sure things are coded correctly for reporting purposes. And then the last action step is just to continue to work with board members, directors, and principals to continue determining capital project needs. Do you have any questions about this initiative?
Where do we stand on the coding correctly? I believe there were some issues the last time that we talked about it. There was a couple issues that were miscalculated in the coding, or we corrected on all this now, or what?
I wouldn't say it was miscalculated, it was just tagged to the wrong funding source or object code. So yes, everything is up to date and coded correctly.
So
Those are things that we monitor consistently.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions?
I do want to add, based on action step number 4 in our performance measure of our 5-year plan, our 5-year facility plan, we will begin updating that in the spring, and we will bring our facilities consultant from Department of Education in. Dr. Boyd and I have a plan to take the floor plans that we have from each school this year, and every room is marked, and we're gonna walk through, we're gonna try to do one school per month and walk through every nook and cranny of every school to make sure that we have, if it's marked for instruction, that it is in fact being used for instruction, so that when we get ready in the spring to start redeveloping our 5-year facility plan, we'll be a little bit ahead of the curve, and we'll know that when we submit those floor plans to Department of Education that they're accurate.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Harrison.
Thank you.
Our next item on the agenda is approval of insolvent list, and we have Miss Ally Harnage here with us. I will probably forever call her O'Quinn, and she can probably do a much better job of explaining this to you than I can, so I asked her to attend tonight to explain exactly what this is and why we are required to approve it.
I go by O'Quinn anyways. I just don't say Harnage half the time. So what this is this is different than like if we go to sale and it doesn't sell at tax sale. These are properties that I have gone through deeply on all of the outstanding bills we have. Either, I'm trying to find the best way to say this. Personal property, the inventory is a big problem. It's never really been audited or gone through. We did our first tax sale with it 2 or 3 years ago, so that was the first time we really dug into it. So most of these, the businesses sold or closed, and we weren't getting those back taxes at the time, so now there's nothing I can go and sell at tax sale because the business has been closed. Some of them, the assessor's office may have combined them with another property, just disappeared. Don't really know for certain because there's a lot. But that's basically what this is I can't go and try to collect these taxes at tax sale. So I'm just trying to get them off of our books so it's not still sitting there harming us, basically. And I think the total for the school comes out to be $8,466.41.
Do you have a question, Mr. Wise?
So these are people that owe back taxes?
Yes. And most of these are ones that only owe like that single year. So it's got some of them that'll have on here, like one of them only owes 2015. There was no bills after 2015.
So this is just a result of you cleaning up your records and
Yes.
trying to make them accurately reflect what is on the digest now?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have a question. So I understand that you're saying that you all don't have the ability to collect, the taxes from these individuals. But if these individuals, or if someone decides they want to purchase those properties, would they not assume the back taxes when they purchase that property?
Yes, but these don't have current tax bills. Actually, all of these, the tax bills stopped, I think, the most recent one that even had a tax bill was 2023. And there was nothing for 24 or 25, so I can't send it to sale because it doesn't exist anymore.
So how, somehow somebody's got to know what happened to it, you would think.
You would think.
So is this everybody you found, or is there more also that we
This-
hadn't even found?
This is everyone. I've gone back through every single bill we have back to 2011.
So this is an exhaustive list.
Yes.
So,
We have to approve this tonight.
do you
No,
have
I
a
mean,
deadline for this?
I still have to get the commissioner's signature on it.
Okay.
But we don't meet.
I don't really
again
have a
until next
deadline.
month.
Right, we don't have another meeting until August. Do you have a deadline on this?
No. It's just something in office. I'm trying to
Right.
get everything a little bit cleaner so we don't have all this still sitting out there that I can't do anything with.
Because you depend on the tax assessor's office to have the
Everything
owner's
correct.
name correct and the address is correct, and you just collect based on what you receive from the tax assessor's office.
Yes.
So this is the communication between those two offices, and you're trying to make sure all the records match.
Yes. Most of these, what's supposed to happen is if you have two parcels of land and you want to combine it into one parcel, they're supposed to make sure those back taxes are paid before it gets combined. But all of these basically are prior years that was not properly being done. And it just wasn't policed enough to see. And, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, there wasn't enough time to see and go through each individual bill at that time. And for the real property, the personal property is ones that the business is closed, or someone had a boat at one time, now they don't have the boat, so there's not a boat I can go and get. It's basically just trying to clean up, and it is frustrating because it should have been collected at that time, but of course, they were so swamped. We were still trying to get up. So that's why there's a lot of personal property is what is taking up the majority of this list, and that's just because we've never had a personal property sale until, I think, 3 years ago.
And just for the board and for the public's understanding, can you explain the difference in the types of property, like personal property, real property, et cetera?
Yes, the real property is your land and your home, the home that is affixed to your land. Then personal property is either mobile homes or inventory, equipment. I don't think it supplies.
Is a boat,
Yeah, like
personal property?
boats, buggies,
Motorcycle.
equipment, or anything that's not tagged. So motorcycle and vehicles and trailers, pull-behind trailers are not included because those are tagged, and that's where you pay the taxes on them. But as far as like boats, buggies, not really motorcycle, dirt bikes, equipment for like a building or a business, their desks, their computers, stuff like that.
and you said the majority of this is personal, so this isn't like
Yes.
someone's home that still exists that you
No.
can't put a lien against?
Correct. This is mostly, I think the first page of it is real property, but it's ancient years real property. And the other 2 pages, or one and a little bit of page, is all personal property. And the majority of these are ones that the business closed, or I do have some notes, if I did get notes from the assessors, that it says per assessors, the account was deleted. My understanding from deleted means the business closed or it's not there.
Would there be a law put against all this?
The lien?
Yeah,
Do you put liens against personal?
Yes. We put liens right this second. We have liens on 21 through 25 mobile homes. We're working on 26 right now. Real property, we have liens all the way back to 2009. Well, we don't have bills that old anymore, but we had liens back to 2009. Personal property, we have liens on, I believe, 24 and 25. We may have it on 23. I can't remember fully. But everything that owes more than $5 has a lien on it.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve the presented insolvent list?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Yarborough? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Daniel?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, and thanks for the explanation. We appreciate it. Yes, ma'am, we will. The next item on the agenda is approval of sale of the old Oak Vista Gym, and this is the gym that is on the current Board of Education property on Pine Street. As you know, we've had multiple conversations as prescribed by law in executive session leading up to this transaction. And so Ms. Mosley and I met yesterday with the attorney, and you have some closing documents there in front of you. The purchaser was DJ Jones. The user of the property will be Mr. Tommy Weatherspoon, and his business name is Bigger Than Athletics, and he mentors and tutors students. So there will be some student activity going on after school on that property, not affiliated with the school district, because he has a nonprofit organization that he runs. But you see the sale price there. The purchaser did pay the closing cost, and they reimbursed the school district for the cost of the survey. And the cash to the Board of Education was $83,400. If you'll see the plat there, the portion that we sold is that track 2 that has the gym on it. We did have to go through a lot of red tape, and I want to thank Dr. Stephen Boyd for going to all of those meetings on our behalf with the city and the county to get this rezoned, and dealing with the surveyors to get the plat corrected. But we had to correct the parcels before we could place it for sale, because the parcels actually, the original parcels, when you looked at them, they divided the gym in half basically. So we had to combine some of the parcels and jump through all of those hoops to get this ready. So track 2 there is what we sold that has the gym on it. And you've got the documents there that Mrs. Mosley and I signed yesterday at closing. Do you have any questions about that?
How many acres is that on track 2? Because it's blurred out on mine. It's
1.052.
5.2 or 8.2?
Okay. Then track 3 is the BOE office?
It is.
Okay.
And then track 1 is where,
The parking, that field?
it's that field where the curriculum room sits, and then the field behind it.
Do I have a motion to approve the sale of the old Oak Vista Gym? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
You should also have in your packet a copy of the FY27 Coastal Plains Memorandum of Understanding. This is our agreement that we approve annually with Coastal Plains Completion School. The agreement is that they will reimburse the school district $175,000 for FY27 for the use of this last wing of the old high school. You don't have it?
It's on our computer, but.
Okay. It's the typical language that we signed last year. We have an agreement with them to use our facility. One change is they will provide their own SRO this coming year, whereas in the past, we had provided the SRO. So they will work with the city or the county, and they will pay them directly for an SRO. I did speak with their superintendent, Mr. Ricky Rentz. They have had a decline in enrollment there, and the original agreement had a substantially less amount to come to our school district, and we had very little notice about that. And we did budget for the $175,000, so we negotiated to keep that same rate for FY '27. So there is a chance that that amount may decrease for FY '28. But he got with his board, and they agreed to fund us at the same rate because we had already budgeted for that amount.
Do I have a motion to approve the FY '27 Coastal Plains MOU?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel? Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Item B on the agenda is the approval of GSBA Board Policy Manual Review. At the last meeting, we reviewed several policies. Georgia School Boards Association is going through our entire policy manual, and we're doing a couple sections at the time. And we will handle these just like we do all of our policy revisions. We will have a first reading, and those policies will sit on the table until the following board meeting, at which time we will approve them if the board sees fit. We went through these one by one at the last meeting, so I need to see if any of you have any questions regarding any of those policies. Okay.
I guess I still have a question about the attendance zone policy and how are we gonna handle, attendance zones and as far as our students are concerned.
Yes, ma'am. As we discussed at the last meeting, there's another policy in another section that our GSBA representative told us will cover a lot of the things that were in that policy. So when we get to that policy, if we're not satisfied with the wording of that, we can always come back to policy AD and put it back in our manual if we need to.
You know which policy it actually is?
It's in the J section. I could probably look back through my notes maybe and find it in my notebook here somewhere,
Okay.
but it is in the J section.
Yeah, if you could just send it to us, you know, when you get an opportunity, that'd be fine.
Well, it's one of the policies that will probably be revised during part of this review, so we'll probably add additional language to it. The way he the way I understood it, it may be combining the two policies into one.
Right.
So the policy as it exists now may not have the wording from this policy, but once we revise it, it will.
Okay, I understand.
Okay?
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve all the presented policies?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is financial management. We have Dr. Kimberly Harrison coming back to review the May 26th financial report.
Okay, we'll start with the general fund report. So at the top section, you have the revenue. We have the budgeted revenue in the first column, year-to-date on the second, and then the remaining balance. You'll see that the top two lines are in a negative, but that's a good negative. That just means that we have received more revenue than we originally anticipated. The middle section is our expenditures broken down by department or function. We do have a couple negatives there that I'll go over in just a few minutes. And then the bottom section there is our same information, expenditures broken down by object code.
Can Can I stop you for just one
Yeah.
second? I just want to make sure that everybody's clear that this is the May 31st financial report. The funds that we had to send back to the county will be reflected on the June
Yes.
report, correct?
Yes, the $1
Okay.
million check was written in
Okay.
June. But that's been taken care of. Yeah.
That's horrible,
Not good.
horrible.
All right, and so just take a moment there to look at that first sheet. Again, a couple of negatives are, I want to talk about the May 31st ending fund balance. It's $15,632,047.96. And the first negative there in the middle section, the 19,000, whenever we do June, you're going to see that that one is not going to be negative, and actually the instruction is going to go up a little bit. At the beginning of the year, we have to accrue salaries, and so in June, we did the reversal of that, and so you'll see that those are going to be reflected and they'll be positive. But that just means that we have to project how much we're going to spend in July and August for our salaries, because that is actually the last fiscal year. The next one there is negative 33,000. That's in central administration. There's a couple of things that, just some expenditures that were a little bit over in communication, insurance, travel, not necessarily significant amount when you look at what was originally budgeted. And then,
I believe one of those items, I think when we budgeted, correct me if I'm wrong, when we budgeted for the the employer-paid life insurance that we decided to provide for every employee, we weren't sure of that number. And so
Correct.
that number has exceeded that amount. So
Yes,
that will
ma'am.
be, that was corrected in the FY27 budget.
correct. And that's the first time that we did it, so then we were able, we're going to be able to use that information as a trend for next year. Okay.
So when you project out these budgets like this, what is the percentage rate that you try to come in? Plus or minus 5% of your original budget, or it's just a gamut and you just go wherever?
So you're kind of at liberty at some of these vendors and what they give you as far as a quote. So for example, excuse me, our GSBA insurance was significantly more than it was in previous years. And so what we did is we used what we had in last year to budget for next year. And sometimes they'll come back and say there's an addition in workers' comp or risk management or cybersecurity. And those are pretty pricey. I think we had budgeted more like $800,000 for that, and we're a little over in that. But keep in mind, this is in May, so we're almost done with the fiscal year. Does that answer your question?
What we typically hold every department and every school to their budget.
Yes.
They have to stay within budget. We do have a couple of areas that sometimes are beyond our control. For example, when you have a bus driver shortage and you have to pay bus drivers overtime to cover routes because you have that bus driver shortage, we budget for the regular pay of bus drivers, not the overtime rate of bus drivers. So one of the areas that we're over in transportation is due to overtime that we're paying the bus drivers because we've got to transport our kids. The other things sometimes in maintenance is if you have an HVAC unit go down and you have to replace that. So to answer your question, the variance that we try to stay in is 0%.
Right.
But we live in the real world and real things happen, and so we just have to deal with those curveballs as they come. The good thing is that we typically do collect more on the revenue side than what we budget. So if we go a little bit over on our expenditures, it balances out.
Correct. And she touched on the the next one in transportation. There's also, we're a little over in some of our rentals. We have a contract with Canon Copier, and so that's a little bit more than what we originally budgeted. So you'll see some of those negatives reflected in the next few pages. One thing I do want to mention is at the bottom, we did receive the last payment in our GSBA for the insurance claim, so we were able to shore up that Next to the, it said equipment down in the third section there. In the last month, we were 377,000 in the negative, but receiving those funds, we were able to do a budget amendment and correct that negative. And in page 2 and 3, it just further breaks down that information by department and object code. So I'll give you a few moments to look over those, and I'll touch on a couple of the negatives.
Did we write that check out of our general fund?
Yes, sir.
General fund?
General fund, yes, sir.
It came out of the current year revenue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so again, in some of these, when you see rentals and repairs, if those are negatives, that's due to our Canon, or any communication, travel, other purchase services, that's typically either an overage in software or in purchase services like ESS or subs that we have to pay, or all clean services. And again, those are based on usage, and so you budget what you normally think you would use.
All right, so can you go down to section 3 where it says student transportation, please?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have one at 109 and one at 106. Does that mean we're 9% over what was a budget for
What
that
pa-
year and 6% over on those two? So
Yeah.
that's 15% we're in those two categories
Yeah,
over?
the total at the bottom, the 106.39, means that transportation is 6% over budget
Over.
as a
Yeah.
total.
Okay.
But if you look at the bottom of that third page, overall, our general fund, we're at 90% there. So we're not overall negative
Right.
together. It's just in certain areas
Certain
we went over a little bit. But and all that information is useful data to, we used that information when we were planning FY '27's budget. So that's the general fund report. Do you have any questions about that? And I can go over any other negatives if you would like me to, but there's a rationale and a reason for each of those. And again, those are monitored, and typically there's a reason why. But- okay. So we'll look at the second report. That's our capital projects and debt services. And the first column is SPLOS. The exact SPLOS revenue that we received for May was $5,367. $477.85. So again, we're still averaging $530,000 a month for SPLOST. And then we have all of our projects, from buses all the way down to textbooks, and then our bonds in the last column. And again, reading this, you'll have the revenue at the top versus the expenditures at the bottom. We do have some FY '27 purchase orders that we have processed, and I just want to keep you updated as we do these report outs. So far, we've already issued the 4 purchase orders for the buses for FY '27 that was approved with SPLOS funds. We've also issued the scissor lift and the bus wash for the Maintenance and Transportation Department that was approved. And then today, we processed the purchase orders for the 2 middle school signs, the automated signs outside, that were purchased or approved with SPLOST as well.
Just what is the average cost of those signs now?
So each of those purchase orders was $40,000, and we did, as we always do, secure additional quotes, and that was the lowest quote. The other vendor was right around $52,000. One was 40, one was
2027?
Yes, sir.
That's how the SPLOS. The 2 middle schools were the only schools that didn't have a digital sign, so we're using
But
SPLOS
they're the ones
funds.
that got the roofs on them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine.
So is the average age of those signs still about 4 or 5 years?
It just depends on wear and tear and maintenance. Okay. Any questions on that report?
And just so you know, for the use of those SPLOS funds, we were able to use, and they were the low quote, but it is a local vendor. So we're being able to use a local vendor from Wayne County to use some of our SPLOS funds, which is great.
And then the final report, as always, is school activity. Again, we added that beginning and ending cash section at the bottom there. We are working with 3 different schools. Bookkeepers came back yesterday, but 3 schools are just off a small amount. One school is $83, another school is $134, but those are dealing with accounts payable. And so at the end of the year, we're trying to close out all of our purchase orders, make sure that they're tied, they're closed out. And so we're working with them to make sure that that is correct and reflected for the June final.
Is there any kind of warranty with the signs?
I would have to go back and look, but
There
I'm
is,
sure
I don't
there is.
remember. I
don't
don't
have it in
remember.
front of me,
We can get
but-
that information
Yeah.
for you.
Any questions about the May financials?
Do I have a motion to approve the May 2026 financial report as presented?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
The Wayne County BOE will enter into executive session to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of the superintendent, as described in OCGA 50-14-3. Other matters considered or discussed may include negotiations, land, real estate, appeals, school safety plans, and legal matters. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel? Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have a motion to enter back into open session?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Personnel recommendations for July 14th, 2026. Lynette Beaver, Arthur Williams Middle School, 49%. Wendy Krager, Wayne County High School, 49%. Sarah Elizabeth Gilden, Martha Ross Smith Elementary. Lolita Morales, Arthur Williams Middle School. Melissa Perkins, Scriven Elementary School, 49%. Lydia Stone, Martha Ross Smith Elementary. Lorraine Thornton, Arthur Williams Middle School. Certified transfer, Michael Tony Yeomans from Jessup Elementary School to Arthur Williams Middle School. Certified resignations, Sarita Stevens, Arthur Williams Middle School. Ronald Yoder, Wayne County High School. Genesis Myers, James C. Bacon Elementary School. Nikita Roberts, Wayne County High School. Aubrey Tomberlin, Odom Elementary School, School Food Services. Katie Yeomans, Martha Puckett Middle School. Classified transfers, Brittany Smith from Martha Puckett Middle School to Odom Elementary School. Shafanya Walker from Odom Elementary School to Martha Puckett Middle School. Classified resignations, Jennifer Carter, Odom Elementary School. Janiyah Ledesma, Jessup Elementary School. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel recommendations list as presented?
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mrs. Mosley?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wise?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harris?
I'm good. It's a hot summer, not long for school starts, so enjoy these last few weeks.
Ms. Daniel?
I just want everybody to just be ready for school, understand that we are one in this together. And let's think positive, because if we think positive and we support our kids, both the students, the teachers, the parents, we're gonna have a great year.
Mr. Yarborough?
Go Jackets.
Mr. Wise?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Everybody enjoy the rest of your summer. Ms.
I
Williams?
I do have a couple of announcements.
Okay.
And we have shared this information with parents as well as on our website, but just as a reminder, all students are required to register online, and we will have assistance for online registration here in the Tech Center lab starting tomorrow from 1 to 4, July 17th from 8 to 4, July 21st from 8 to 4, and July 24th from 8 to 11:30. Also, open house will be Friday, July 31st for kindergarten through 12th grade from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Pre-K will be that same morning from 10 to 11, and then we will have freshman orientation from 11 to 2 at Wayne County High School. And the first day of school will be August the 4th, and we're looking forward to having our teachers and our students back in our buildings. That's all I
I
have.
do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Williams, the registration, the online registration, will that eliminate the papers that the kids bring home?
A lot of them, yes, ma'am. That will eliminate a lot of the paperwork that they have to bring home at the beginning of the year, yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I think the parents said, and they understand that, we might get a whole lot more participation.
Yes, we're requiring online registration, so at some point, they're gonna have to do it. But we are offering, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
There being no further business, I declare this meeting adjourned.